You're standing in line at your usual grocery store. Cart half full, but the total? Way over budget. And what's worse, you couldn't even find half the stuff on your list. No eggs, no canned soup, even toilet papers down to the weird off-brand kind. You think it's just bad luck, but it's not. Because it's not just your store. From coast to coast, the biggest names in American retail, stores we've trusted for decades, are cracking under pressure. One by one, they're shrinking. Shelf space, hiking prices, laying off workers, and in some cases, quietly closing doors. And yet, most folks don't even see it coming. This isn't panic, this is a pattern. In this video, we're breaking down 10 major US retail chains that are on the brink, what's causing their collapse, how it affects your grocery trips, and what to do before your local store becomes the next ghost shell. Number 1. Rite Aid. You're sick. Not serious, just a cold. But you need cough syrup, tissues, maybe something for the fever. So you head to the corner Rite Aid. Same one you've been going to for years. Only, it's closed. Windows papered over, lights off. A dusty sign taped to the glass. This location is now permanently closed. You stand there for a second. Not shocked exactly, but unsettled. And it's not just this store. Rite Aid, once the third largest pharmacy chain in the US, is collapsing. Over 1,200 stores are being sold off or shut down completely. Quietly, one neighborhood at a time. They filed for bankruptcy again in late 2023, dragged down by over $3 billion in debt and thousands of opioid-related lawsuits. Now it's 2025 and the fallout is fully here. Shelves went half-stocked months ago. Staff hours were cut. Prescriptions delayed. Then whole stores vanished overnight. But here's the real gut punch. For millions of people, especially seniors, low-income families, and folks without a car, Rite Aid was the only nearby option. The place you picked up meds, diapers, a quick snack, or toilet paper when it mattered. Now, those people are being funneled into bigger chains that are further away, more expensive, or just overloaded. And it's more than an inconvenience. It's a vulnerability. Because once that little safety net disappears, everything gets harder. Sicker, slower. Even if you don't shop there often, the collapse of a local pharmacy hits deeper than empty shelves. It signals something breaking in the foundation, something we've taken for granted. And the truth? Once a chain like this falls, it doesn't bounce back. Not at $5 a gallon gas. Not with layoffs. Not with shrinking foot traffic. So next time you pass a Rite Aid still open, take a mental note, because the lights might not be on much longer. Number 2, Jo-Ann Fabrics. You walk into Jo-Ann's thread, or maybe buttons. Maybe you don't even need anything. You just want to be surrounded by the soft clutter of fabric rolls and seasonal wreaths, that smell of cotton and glue sticks, the quiet calm of it. But now, you walk in, and it feels like a clearance funeral. Half the aisles are blocked off. Signs scream, 50% off, final days. The workers don't make eye contact. Shelves are thinning by the hour, and in the middle of all that color and texture, there's this dull, heavy feeling. Because Jo-Ann Fabrics isn't just having a sale, it's closing down, for good. After nearly 80 years, Jo-Ann filed for bankruptcy again in early 2024, and by spring of 2025, they announced it. All 800 stores are shutting down, every last one. This isn't a pause, it's the end. For small-town America, that hits harder than people realize. Jo-Ann's was where retirees taught quilting circles, where parents grabbed last-minute poster boards at 9 p.m., where DIY brides hunted for ribbon on a budget. It wasn't glamorous, but it worked. It filled a quiet, creative gap. Now, that gap is growing. The company tried everything, restructuring, rebranding, online pivoting, but sales kept falling. Hobby spending dropped as inflation squeezed family budgets. And big box stores like Walmart and Amazon ate into what little margin they had left. But this isn't just about crafts. It's about the spaces we're losing. The gentle, slower places. The mom's Saturday stop places. The ones that don't scale well on TikTok or fit in a strip mall next to a vape shop. When Jo-Ann goes, it doesn't make headlines. But for millions, it quietly erases a piece of normal life, of comfort. So if you got one nearby, maybe go one last time, not to stock up, just to stand in that space before it's gone. Because next month, it might just be an empty lot with a for lease sign flapping in the wind. Number 3, Macy's. It starts like this. You walk past the mall, glance up at the red Macy's sign, and something feels off. You go in anyway, just to look around. But the perfume counters are empty, the escalators out, and half the mannequins are naked, shoved into a corner like they're waiting for eviction. This isn't the Macy's you grew up with, and that's because it's not really Macy's anymore. Not in the way it used to be. The company just announced plans to close. Another 66 stores by 2026 on top of the dozens they've already shut down. They're cutting nearly 2,350 jobs, calling it streamlining. But for most of us, it feels more like erasing. Macy's was never just a store. It was where you bought your first suit, your kids' Christmas pajamas, that last-minute prom. Dress when everything else went wrong. For a lot of families, Macy's was the place you went when you wanted to feel like you were doing something right, like you could afford a little pride. But behind the glass and sale signs, Macy's has been bleeding for years. Foot traffic dropped. Online competition crushed their margins. Real estate costs rose while consumer trust fell. And honestly, who's shopping for $90 jeans when groceries are wiping out your paycheck? The final nail? A changing America. Malls aren't gathering places anymore. They're ghost boxes. Most people want fast, cheap, and shipped. The days of strolling through fragrance samples and escalators are fading. So Macy's is pivoting, downsizing. They say they'll keep their strongest locations and pour energy into luxury rebrands. Flagship stores in wealthy zip codes, pop-ups in gentrified areas. But for working-class folks, the Macy's you remember won't be part of that plan. The store that anchored so many childhoods, gone. The brand that made you feel a little fancy, even when you weren't, shrinking into the background. And once it's gone, it's not coming back. Not in your neighborhood, not for your kids. So maybe next time you walk by, don't just keep walking. Go in, smell the perfume, touch the fabric. Let it mean something. Because these aren't just store closures, they're memory closures. And when the lights go out, it won't be the price tags we miss. It'll be the feeling that some places still try to treat us like we mattered. Number 4, Forever 21. You remember the chaos. Loud music, neon signs, piles of jeans you had to dig through, the $7 crop tops, the $12 boots that somehow lasted 2 winters. Forever 21 was never high-end, but for a lot of us, it was accessible. A place where you could reinvent yourself without wrecking your bank account. Now, every Forever 21 in the US is gone. All 350 stores shuttered. Just like that. They filed for bankruptcy again in early 2025. Quietly, no big headlines, no farewell tour, just store after store going dark. The shelves are empty, the lights are off. What happened? Same thing that's happening everywhere. Sales slowed, debt piled up. The company bet big on foot traffic that never came back. They tried collabs, TikTok campaigns, even vending machines in airports, but nothing stuck. The truth is, fast fashion isn't fast enough anymore. Not when inflation is this brutal and everyone's shopping secondhand just to survive. And for mall-based retailers like Forever 21, it was a death sentence. Malls are thinning out. Teens shop online now. Parents aren't giving their kids $100 to go grab a few things anymore. They're just trying to put gas in the car and milk in the fridge. And here's the other thing no one wants to say out loud. Forever 21 made people feel seen, especially working-class girls who couldn't afford designer clothes, but still wanted to feel beautiful, on-trend, and put together. Losing that kind of store isn't just economic, it's emotional, because there's something deeply human about walking into a store and saying, I'm going to try something. New today, a new jacket, a new version of yourself, for $20 and a bit of courage. Now that option is gone, and the gap it leaves isn't just about fashion, it's about dignity, creativity, and choice. Sure, you can still scroll through Shein or Amazon, but it's not the same. You don't feel the fabric, you don't get the spark, you don't get to become someone else for a minute in the fitting room mirror. So next time you drive past the empty shell of what used to be Forever 21, ask yourself, what's left for everyday people to dream in? Number 5, Party City. You're planning a birthday. Balloons, streamers, candles shaped like a 6. You used to know exactly where to go. Party City. In and out in 15 minutes. Everything in one place. Now, it's closed. Gutted. The windows are blank. The sign is still up, but the life inside? Gone. Party City shut down all its corporate-owned stores by early 2025. Hundreds of them. Just gone. Sure, some locations got sold off. Some franchises might hang on a little longer. But the brand, as most of us knew it? It's finished. And here's the thing. No one's talking about it. Because it's just the party store. Right? Not essential, not life or death, but look closer. Party City wasn't just about balloons, it was about moments. The kind you remember in photos, the kind that made a regular Tuesday feel like a big deal. For working-class families, it was one of the few places where you could throw together a last-minute party on a tight budget and still make your kid's face light up. It made holidays feel real. It made milestones feel worth celebrating. Even when money was tight, but COVID hit, then inflation, then supply chain chaos. And by the time the world was ready to party again, Party City wasn't. They were $1.5 billion in debt. Their shelves were half-stocked. Their staff was overworked and underpaid. Rent was killing them. And consumers? They were different now. Buying online, skipping the party, choosing a quiet cake at home is over $80 in themed decorations. So Party City fell behind, then it fell apart. And it leaves behind more than just a gap in the retail landscape. It leaves a silence where noise used to be. No aisles of noisemakers, no last-minute dash for Halloween makeup, no wall of balloons for graduation day. Just one more storefront, dark and empty, in a strip mall already losing its anchors. So yeah, it's just a party store. But when even celebration becomes a luxury, you have to ask, what are we losing one shuttered store at a time? Number 6, bargain hunt. You're not shopping for fun anymore. You're shopping to stretch. Stretch the paycheck, stretch the pantry, stretch the life out of every dollar. That's why you walked into bargain hunt. It wasn't fancy, but it got the job done. Overstocks, returns, off-brand odds and ends. But always cheap, always possible. Now, the store's gone. Not just your local one, all of them. Bargain Hunt shut down all 91 locations in March 2025 after its parent company filed for Chapter 11. Bankruptcy, quiet exit, no big news cycle, no national outrage, just doors locked, shelves left half full, workers sent home. And it's a strange kind of loss, because this wasn't a place people bragged about shopping at. But it was real, it mattered. In a world where prices won't stop climbing, discount chains like this were the safety net. A place where a $10 bill could still mean groceries, not just one frozen pizza. But Bargain Hunt couldn't survive the storm. They were already operating on razor-thin margins. When shipping costs soared, inventory got erratic, and rent never stopped rising. It all just buckled. The model only worked when the scraps from bigger stores were steady, when returns were abundant, when customers had a little breathing room. But now, people aren't returning TVs, they're holding onto them for dear life. Supply chains aren't overstocked, they're stripped. So even the discounters are running out of scraps. And the irony stings. While luxury brands pivot and survive, it's the places built for the broke that are disappearing first. Now families that relied on Bargain Hunt have fewer and fewer places to turn. Walmart's prices are up, dollar stores are half empty, and secondhand is getting picked clean faster than ever. This wasn't just another store, it was a backup plan, a cushion, a plan B when plan A already failed. So when a store like Bargain Hunt vanishes, it's not just about commerce, it's about class, about who gets to keep access, and who's left circling the lot wondering where to go next. Because when the places for us start closing, who are they building what's left for?